Hey, all right. We are here for show number 4, the Quattro, coming at you, the 4 horsemen.
Woo!
This is the Confused Manly Men Fantasy Football League show. I'm not wearing a mask.
I'm part of the Lollipop gang.
Is that a good lollipop?
Oh, so good. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Hey, we got a special guest, but before we get to our special guest, who's our sponsor?
Got to get to our sponsors. All right, we've got Jeremy Jones Massage Emporium today. Yeah. And their slogan is, "Are you jonesing for a massage?" So tell them a little bit about what all that the Jones Emporium does.
And you know what? It's a great sponsor because Are You Jonesing for one? What they do is they service our elderly community. So they partner with Jerry's Geriatric World, and they go out and they service our elderly community with massages and all sorts of great things.
Oil baths.
Oil baths, anything else you can think of. And here's the thing, though. Here's the part that makes me sad, because I'd love to use their services because I'm jonesing for a massage, but I can't.
No, you got to be above 70.
70 years
you got
old.
70 and older.
Plus,
your joints are hurting, they're aching, all that. All of our millions of viewers out there that are over 70, you want to check this out. Men, women. But listen, here's the catch with it. They only have one employee, so you're going to have to get in there.
He's that good.
And, be sure that you schedule it. Jeremy Jones is their only employee, male, female, it doesn't really matter. He's going to come, he's going to take care of you. So know what you're getting into before you get there.
And they're so successful that they actually have a celebrity client.
A celebrity client.
Her name is Doris Burke.
Yep.
She's
in that wheelhouse.
She started using them when she was 70. She's been a 15-year client.
Yeah.
She's 85 years old now. I heard there's some type of romance that's possibly going on between
She's calling that number
Jeremy
a lot.
and that. But hey, that's what it is. Let's get on with the show, though. Thank you very much, Jeremy Jones Massage Emporium, for sponsoring us.
All right, we got our totally relevant topic of the week coming up.
Wait, I just look over.
What?
And there's this dum-dum just sitting on the table.
It's ready to go.
This is how
the table
COVID,
is definitely
this
not
is how
clean
COVID
either.
happens.
All right, our totally relevant topic of the week. We have a special guest. You guys know him. You guys sort of love him. He's spasmatic. Got lots of energy. It's Mr. David Hanson. He's here. The former champ.
The former champ.
Former and
is
nevermore
here.
champ.
Hey, why don't you walk us through what you did over there for us to add production value?
Yeah, I know there's no backgrounds, no screens, just
We're chumps.
two guys in front of a camera.
Chumps.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Now we got the Confused Manly Men Fantasy Podcast. I don't know if that's the name of it.
It is.
Is that the name of the
The
podcast?
Confused. The
Is it
Confused.
show?
Show. We're the
No,
show,
we're
man.
the
We're the
show.
show. Look
Don't.
at
Hey,
this show.
he's already trying to put us in a box. Don't put us in a box.
Mark out that podcast. We're a show.
Show. There we go.
We technically aren't a podcast.
With your hosts,
This is just on YouTube.
Ben, and Brandon, guest David, and there's a little.
I don't approve of that.
There's another message
Approve
down
of
there
that.
as well.
There's-
I don't know what that says though.
Yeah, that's hurtful. That's
It's
hurtful
good.
to Jordan. Hey, real quick, we got a couple questions here that we want to ask you before we get going, all right? That you're not prepared for, okay? So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Just fire off with the first thing. First question, I'll ask it.
Yeah, please do.
Why do you hate us?
Why
Why would you leave us?
Why would you leave us?
What was this? So, yeah, I've gotten this question a lot lately. Not only by you jerks over and
Multiple.
over again.
A lot.
But
A
by
lot.
other
Why are you
people?
leaving us?
Random groupies.
Don't leave.
But also from students who are like, please don't leave.
Yeah, but they don't matter. They're
Yeah.
students.
They're not your friends.
We are
You're not going to
adults.
talk to them in 10 years.
Yeah.
You're going to talk to us in 10 years.
We're
That's
adults.
fair. I assume that friendship and camaraderie
Nope.
superseded,
Nope.
you know.
Yeah, it's also
city
geographically
borders.
bound.
It doesn't.
There's like a geographical bounding there.
So you're not friends with Jordan.
Jordan gets to supersede those things. Jordan transcends those
What about
things.
I wouldn't call it friends
How-
is what
How,
Jordan
how-
are.
what else?
how many
What
years was this league
What
in
else?
existence
We know.
where you weren't in the same city?
Oh wow! When we change rules, we can grow. We can evolve as a community.
I'm
we
pretty
can
sure for
grow.
the first like
He hates us.
season.
That's where we're going
What
with this. He
season-
hates
what
us. He's-
season is this?
This is called deflection. David's
Yeah.
going to do a lot of it today.
Don't
but
use
just
logic
know,
and reason on
yeah,
this show.
He hates
What
us.
season is this? For real, what season is this? What year are
I
we?
have no idea.
This is
Decade, eight,
9.
something like that.
9?
Gonna be 9.
Yeah. When did Jerry?
I guess
pass?
that.
When
I
did
don't know
Jerry
if that's
pass?
true. Jordan, double check
Do
it.
you remember when was Jerry ever a real person in our league?
For the first
I think he's
6
always
years.
been a ghost.
He's always been.
And
a
he doesn't live
ghost.
here.
I know, but he's not alive.
Germany,
He's a ghost.
Germany
He's a
doesn't
Russian-
live here.
He's family though.
Jordan doesn't live here.
Yeah, but they didn't live here and then
Family.
move. You
Cousin doesn't
lived
live here.
here and then you
Family.
left us. They didn't leave us.
Yeah, that's true.
You left us.
Let's get on to another game.
All right. No, Dan.
you
you
left
gotta-
them. You
Yeah, but I don't like
Plano.
people. I mean, people know this about me.
Yeah. We expect better out of you.
When people are
Manson.
like, "Why do you hate us?" I'm like, "Well, we got a long list. We need to go through all these things." I'm just joking. I
All
love
right,
you guys.
next question.
Hey, and this is a more serious question. Even, will you ever make playoffs again?
Yeah, this year. Easy.
No, we're being real. This isn't
Have you seen
us
your
trying to be
team?
funny. We're not trying to be funny.
There was
here.
a
This is
couple
trying to be real.
things. There's a couple things last week when you reviewed my team that were just erroneous.
This is
Wow.
I didn't bring you
Big
on
words.
to correct previous
Or to
shows.
use large words.
It was erroneous.
Is that type of macaroni?
Yeah. They're just it's just wrong. It's flat wrong. But it was fun to listen to.
Because it was
wrong.
Because it was true.
Wrong.
Okay, since we've
Erroneous.
only got at this point.
You have corona?
I do. I
Why
think
you
this
keep
went down,
coughing like
went down
that?
the wrong
You
pipe.
should have wore your mask today. Today was the day you should have.
I should have, but I wore the
Down the wrong pipe.
sunglasses. I was hoping my head would look smaller with sunglasses.
Cough in your eyes.
It
All
didn't, it didn't work.
Do you want to point out these erroneous things? Because we got to keep going.
No. We got. We're on time.
Okay. All right. We're going to do AFC division breakout players today.
AFC.
So just as a reminder, we're going to go through all the different divisions of the AFC.
Uh-huh.
They have to be below $10.
Okay.
They can't be a rookie.
Yeah, somebody tried to break that rule.
I didn't know.
You did.
on
We
the
told you
text
in
message,
text. It was
no,
literally
it
in
did not
the
say that.
text. It
It was
said
pretty
it.
much there.
And he tried to put a rookie in. And it was like, no,
It
this
didn't-
doesn't
it
count.
didn't say
So,
that.
not a
That's the first
rookie.
thing.
We've already covered rookies.
That's the
So,
first thing.
we're going to
still-
start with the
There
AFC South.
Okay.
And so, David, can you stop looking at your phone and long enough to answer? Because I'm coming to you first.
My notes are on the phone.
You know
Oh,
what?
okay, all right,
Our
we'll allow it
last,
then.
our last special
You're
guest
really
was
into text
plugged
messages.
in.
He was not
He was
listening.
plugged in. He was focused. He was ready to go.
Yeah.
This guy's over here posting on Instagram, trying to build
Yeah.
up his following. He's a brand ambassador.
He's telling people again about how he's leaving on Instagram.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the 10th day in a row.
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
Let me ask you this: would any of us be surprised? How old are you now? 30 something.
35.
Okay, so 20 years. Hanson's running for president.
Oh,
Is it,
yeah.
are any of us
For
surprised?
sure. For sure.
Not at all. Just remember.
You would hope so. The
Just remember.
country would be going in the right direction.
Yeah.
I think you'd be
Oh,
right at it.
okay.
I'd vote for you.
Here's a quick question before we get there. In the league, who of our league,
Yeah.
who would you choose to be your vice president? You have to choose somebody from our league to be your vice president.
Don't choose Jerry, because
He's a Russian bot.
He's dead.
He's
He's
a
dead.
Russian
It
bot.
would be like putting Biden in, where you're like, he's gonna die,
It's almost.
or he's already dead.
Yeah. You don't want. You can't. So Jerry's eliminated. Who
Maybe
else
Jerry's
you
out.
got?
Who are you picking?
Oof! It would be a runoff between Brandon and Ryan
Oh,
Brandon
that's
Ryan.
a terrible choice.
because they're both
What?
I mean,
What's going on
Ryan.
there?
Ryan's a terrible choice.
they're both go getters. Like they both can get stuff done.
That's true.
And I just want to be like the figurehead.
Oh,
that
yeah.
kind of sits back.
I like it.
And
I like it.
number
I'll be your
two.
vice president.
That's like a go getter.
But why would you choose two unlikable people as your running mate?
It makes me look better.
That's true too.
You're fine if I like institute some policies without asking you, though.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Dictator.
All right. Well, there you go.
Hey,
There you
also,
go.
I was thinking about
Okay.
this a while ago. I should have said this in the intro, but I'm gonna throw us off. This is the second show that we've done together.
This is the.
Talking about when
this
you
is the
just
second
showed
show.
up?
Do you remember
Last
when
time?
we
Yeah.
did youth ministry
Oh.
vlogs together?
Yeah, those were awesome.
way
Yeah.
back in the day.
These
That
are
was the
way
beginning.
better.
That
This
was
is
the
way
beginning.
better. Are you guys having a moment again? Is this
Yeah.
like work
Where's
all
the
over
special
again?
music? Where's the special music?
Golly.
We did vlogs
Like the
back in
third
day.
man out.
Well, get us
always.
back on
Why are you
point.
always-
You're,
okay,
you're,
all right.
you're the worst when
AFC
you're hosting.
We're gonna start with the AFC South. And
Which-
this is Ryan's favorite division. Stop interrupting me, all right? So we're gonna start with the South. Hanson, it's your
Why
turn.
would you start in the south? North, south, east,
Wow,
west.
listen
That's
to
how
this
you
guy.
do
On
the
the document.
calendar.
All right, your turn. South. This is gonna be a 4-hour
Oh,
because you talk
gosh.
too much.
This
Okay.
guy.
So breakout. Can you remind us of?
Oh, again?
I just did.
just
I just
did
did.
it.
$10 or
There's
less,
no way
no
they
rookies.
remember.
Yeah, they remember. They
They
remember.
remember.
It's not that hard. We did
Oh
it
my
last show.
gosh.
Under $2. Did y'all?
This is
Yeah.
gonna, this is gonna be a 1 hour segment. This is gonna be a
I haven't
1
seen.
hour
You seen me
segment.
at last show. I haven't seen last show. It doesn't release
It's
till
gone up-
tonight.
it's gone- I know. I'm just saying.
We're
We did
off the
it. We've
rails.
already done this one. We
Let's
don't-
do it.
I haven't. No one
Professionals.
else has heard this.
Don't worry about it. We got
Till
this.
tonight.
It's not
Don't
your job
burn
to worry
it.
about that.
Okay.
$10 or less, no rookies.
Let's go.
Breakout
So
player.
my breakout in the South was it should be this is the no rookies part was dumb. Well, okay, I'll leave that.
Wait,
Should be
All
Jonathan
right,
Taylor.
just keep it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But my breakout is going to be the oft injured Will Fuller of the Houston Texans, which I figured that Ryan would be very happy with. I just hit the table, and I told you not to do that in one episode. Remember that?
Yeah.
We don't hit the table
We don't hit the
anymore.
table anymore.
We're grown
but
So,
as human beings.
Thanks for coming in.
So
here.
I'm going to go Will Fuller, Houston Texans, because obviously
Mhm.
D-Hop is gone, Nuke is gone, and so there's a huge opening opportunity.
Okay.
I know that you're going to come flying in with your Brandon Cooks jargon, and that's okay. Because it's a toss-up. I'm not like married to
No,
this. I think
it's a breakout.
it's
It's
going to be a breakout.
dude.
And anytime I was listening to a couple other podcasts, anytime that the receiving core is kind of ambiguous, they don't know which direction everything's going to go, then one of those receivers is going to excel. One of those receivers is going to have success.
Yep.
And if Fuller can stay healthy, that chemistry is already there.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Sometimes none. Sometimes none of the receivers.
Pop.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Okay,
But
so
he has a good quarterback. Watson is he's gonna produce. Sorry.
yeah, he's good.
Go ahead.
You want me to go now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm also going to go with receiver. I'm going with Paris Campbell. Paris Campbell.
Interesting choice.
Who's
Showed
going to
us
come in there?
nothing last year.
Well, listen, he caught a ball.
He caught at least one.
He caught a ball. So listen, if he catches a ball and you multiply that by 100, what is that?
100 catches.
Boom.
Magic man.
That's good. That's good. All right, for mine, I have Brandon Cooks. It really was a toss-up. Brandon Cooks is a little bit cheaper right now. I think Will Fuller's $5. Brandon Cooks is $2. He's had 4 1,000-yard receiving seasons with 3 different teams, so he can move around and still produce. Which, actually, do you know what the most amount of yardage that Will Fuller has ever had in a season?
Now what?
670.
670. That's right.
'Cause
Are
I
you
read the
showing? Are you
paper.
showing him all my stuff here, Ben?
Hey,
670. 670. So Brandon Cooks has had over 1,200 yards at least one game. So it's either here or there. I don't mind the Will Fuller. I actually had Will Fuller down, and then you wanted him. So
Will Fuller can't stay
It
healthy.
was one of those guys is going to go off. One of those guys is going to have 1,000 yards, and they're both under $5.
Yeah.
So grab hold of him.
So Fuller, here's his games played for the past 4 NFL seasons. 14, 10, 7, and 11. Those are the number of games he's played in the past couple
That's
seasons.
not a good thing.
Nope. But in 11 games last season, he caught 49 balls for 670 yards and 3 touchdowns. So
Yeah.
that 670 was the most.
I'm pretty
last
sure
year.
two of that, like most of that 670 came in 2 games.
Yeah, he's only had four games.
I'm sure it came in like
Why are you?
2
You
games.
don't get to look
Listen,
at your notes. You get to look at my notes.
This
Will
book
Fuller, somebody in our league is going to draft Will Fuller, right? It is just a given, right?
Yeah.
And this is what you need to know. He will be on your bench when he goes off.
Yeah.
And when you put him in, he will get injured,
Yep.
Yeah.
right? That's just the world of Will Fuller. Amazing talent.
But that's also
Gets
the
it
world
healthy.
of a second flex player. So, all
That's
right,
true.
we're
But
going to
that's
the
why he
West.
could be breakout, because if he sticks.
Yeah, he's a good
We're
breakout.
jumping
He's a
here
good
to the
breakout.
West. Ben, start us off.
Okay, man, I'm going to go with an easy one. Hey, you're not even on camera. You got to move in.
I'm so sorry.
There you go.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, there you go. My head's so big, it takes up like a third of our screen.
It really does.
So I think I took the easiest one here.
How big your head is compared to mine?
That's just massive, dude. I took the easiest one here, and that's Hunter Renfrow.
Okay.
Hunter Renfrow is an easy breakout candidate. He's a hot breakout candidate. He's very, very cheap. Those balls are going to go somewhere. Those targets are going to go somewhere. He seems to have a rapport with Derek Carr. Derek Carr is a pretty safe thrower. Hunter Renfrow works underneath. Darren Waller will clear out for him.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a good breakout. I personally am going to try to draft him.
Yeah.
My only concern with him is can Carr stay consistent enough? Can they be solid enough throughout the season? Which is like
No, of course not. But that's the Las Vegas Raiders.
He's going to catch 150 balls and have like 600 yards receiving.
He
like,
could,
legitimately.
2 yards.
Yeah.
Well, so this is
Dunk,
the
dunk.
way I kind of think about him. He could be like Cole Beasley in Cole Beasley's prime with
Oh,
the
yeah,
Cowboys. You know what I'm talking about? Like he's not going to be a weekly starter for you, but he's
No.
definitely somebody you want on your bench.
That's good.
I think that's a good pick. Handsome.
That's good. So in the West, I have Mecole Hardman,
Mecole.
You're speaking of my heart. We picked Mecole
He runs like
Hardman.
this.
Oh my goodness, he's so good.
Kansas City Chiefs. So this is where he breaks out of
Okay.
the JJ. I can't. What's JJ's
Zacharias.
Zachariah, whatever his
Yeah.
name is, from FanDuel. He was saying most of these breakout wide receivers come from ambiguous wide receiver corps. He goes, but this is the exception because we don't know what's going to happen with Sammy Watkins, and Patrick Mahomes is good enough to sustain multiple
Yeah, he's shown
high
it.
caliber fantasy options. And so,
So I'm
Anyway.
very interested in this. What are you projecting this year? You got a
oh, gosh.
projection?
No, I don't. I just think for $2. He's going for
So let me ask you this then.
$2. $2.
You can pick above. You can pick higher or lower. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, we're
900
going
yards.
over under?
Over under 900 yards receiving.
For
Obviously.
if breakout, I'm gonna say over.
Over.
If you break
I think realistically he goes under.
Okay.
yeah, realistically
I
he goes
think
under. But if he
realistically
breaks
he goes
out,
under.
that would be the whole breakout.
But
But
But you're projecting that he is going to.
But the Chiefs are a team that could support easily 2 1,000-yard receivers.
Easily.
2 1,000-yard
And a 1,000-yard tight end.
4.33.
I mean, pretty cool. Like, think about this:
Yeah.
the Cowboys last year had 2 1,000-yard receivers and an 800-yard receiver, and that they're not the Chiefs. That was a good offense, though. By the
Yeah.
way, last year the Cowboys were. They're not the Chiefs, so the Chiefs could easily support, 2 or 3 of those guys. I don't know if they will.
I kind of cheaped out here. I had Tyrell Williams down for a bit. And
Yeah,
I
what
was like,
happened? I didn't even see the change there.
Yeah, I just went back and looked at his stats and looked at his career. He's been over 1,000 yards one time in like 6 seasons. It's just like it's just not going to happen. But he's free, so I was like, maybe he's that spot that fills it in.
Yeah.
So I
put
instead
him
went
on the
with
bench.
Hunter Henry because that was an easy answer. 12 games last year, 652
Yeah.
yards receiving. He was tight end number 9.
Yeah.
I think he takes a step forward. I mean, you're counting on a little bit of health. If he is healthy, he plays 16 games. You're going to be looking at a top 5 tight end. Because, I mean, they don't have a lot. I mean, getting the ball to the outside is going to be very difficult for them this year.
Look at his stats.
Very difficult for them next year. So, I don't know. I just assume that he's going to take a step forward. And if he ends up at top 5 tight end at $3,
Could be
what
pretty
his
good.
rate is right now. Pretty good.
I take it. If I could get him for $2 to $3, I take a flyer on him.
Yeah.
The only thing that scares me with Hunter Henry is that Tyrod's there, right? And I see Tyrod like he has used tight ends in the past, but I don't know.
I don't know. I just think he's going to go
I
for
think it's a
security
game
blanket
changer.
quite a bit.
Yeah, he could.
And I know Herbert's going to come in. He's going to come in.
Is he?
He is. He will play with the first 8 games. He'll play.
I think he's bad.
No, I don't think he's good either. But you
Yeah.
know what that means? Check down to the tight
Check
end.
down to the
Check
tight
down to the tight
end.
end.
Yeah,
I think the receivers for the Chargers are going to suffer a lot, and
Keenan
they're going to be
Allen.
a bad team
Keenan
this
Allen.
year. I think they're going to be a
Man.
really bad team.
Who wants any part of Mike Williams at this point?
No, I mean the only hope you had was a jump ball in the end
Yeah,
zone,
yeah.
and now they're not getting the end zone really ever. In my mind,
Hey, you
Maybe-
should draft. There's a lot. There's a lot happening.
Yeah, I'd be really excited about Keenan Allen.
So many unknowns. That's
Ryan.
terriful.
I can't wait to talk about
Yeah.
Ryan's horrible
Oh
team.
man, it's gonna be fun.
Ryan's
Okay,
bad
all right, we're going to
team.
the north now.
Yeah.
To the north.
All right, Hanson.
Scrolling my notes because y'all did in the wrong order. Okay, so this is gonna be the fun one. I had multiples on here. Okay, but I'm gonna go with the one that I told you guys.
Well, you can only have one. You can't
I know.
bring multiple breakouts.
So many.
You wanted to see how this goes?
Well, the north is where I had the most like any of these guys could possibly.
Yeah. No, the West was really hard for me.
Yeah,
I was like,
some of those
this
like,
is
you
this
start
is
looking at
rough.
like, nobody's gonna break out.
Yeah, just because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Controversial take. I think the breakout star in the north will be Kareem Hunt of the Browns.
Okay, why do you think that?
Number one, he's $7.
Okay.
Number two, if you look, these are some stats, right? Last season in weeks 1 through 9, Nick
Okay.
Chubb was running back 5, which is fantastic, right? On a points per game basis with 18.93. Last season in weeks 10 through 17, which is when Hunt came back, Chubb was running back 23 on a points per game basis, only 12.97. Last season when Hunt came back in weeks 10 through 17, Kareem Hunt was RB 24, so only one behind Chubb, right?
Yeah.
On a points per game basis with 12.67. As of this right now, Chubb's ADP is running back 9 on his number 9 running back.
Nine.
Hunt is RB 27. So once again, breakout. If Hunt gets an entire season of play,
Yeah.
once again, if anything happens to Chubb, it's no brainer. And I'm typically not going to pick a handcuff as a breakout. But if you look at where Hunt was as the pass receiving running back on that team, he's going to get so many more touches, adding another 8 games into that.
Okay.
It's
All
good.
right, man. It's a solid argument, man. Solid argument.
Ben, who you got?
I'm going with Hollywood Brown.
You're such a
Yeah, dude, it's an
jumping
easy
on that
one.
bandwagon.
It's an easy one. Here's the
It-
thing. I'm a believer in the Baltimore offense.
Yeah.
This is
Okay.
this is breakout, right? This
Yeah,
could happen,
yeah.
right? I don't think this is going to be an offense that supports multiple receiving options on top of Mark Andrew, but I think Hollywood Brown is the definition of another version of like Tyreek Hill style player,
Yeah.
right? Like, so would it be unrealistic to see Hollywood Brown catch something like 60 balls, put up 1,000 yards, and like 6 or 7 touchdowns? No. And that's WR2 numbers, right? Because we've seen it done. Like A.J. Brown last year, 70 catches, just 70 catches, over 1,000 yards.
He is that kind of player.
He is that
He is
type
that
of
kind of
dynamic player.
player. Yeah.
And you're going to have to crowd the line of scrimmage on Baltimore. I want a piece of that offense. I would prefer to roll the dice on Hollywood Brown, but I'd roll the dice on Miles Boykin, or a couple of those guys too.
Does his size worry you?
No, because I think they're pretty smart. They're going to try to use him kind of like Tyreek, like kind of like the cheetah, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
So
again,
size doesn't matter then.
no, I don't think so. I think the modern NFL is completely different. Man, if you go back before all these rules and you're talking about like the middle of the field was owned by the safety, right? Like like those days of old, of course size matters to me, but speed. NFL's all about speed and less physicality now.
It's good.
Which
It's
is
good.
flashback to Miko Hardman, just that 4.33 speed. Some of those burners.
Dude, if Tyreek goes down or if he gets in trouble,
I mean, you just need those burners to turn into good route runners, and when they do that, when they turn into good route runners, then
you're gold.
I mean, you're gold.
You're
So
gold, man.
you can't teach that speed. I mean, that's just
Dude.
you're either born with it or you're not. So he's
That's
got it.
true.
All right, I've got Deontay Johnson. I feel like another one that's probably pretty popular right now.
Mhm.
But you think about last season, he had 680 receiving yards
Mhm.
and 5 touchdowns. Even if that bumps up a little bit, and let's say you get 850, 900 yards receiving, and then 7 touchdowns,
Mhm.
right? You're moving into that area where he's like a decent flex option.
Mhm.
But then even if he breaks out even more than that, I mean, there's just that possibility. They're going to throw the ball. I mean, look at the
And Juju did not pan out the way that
No?
Juju was supposed to pan out. So
Juju's
once
the worst. Who would want to have Juju on their
he's going to have a
team?
great season.
again- So with the fact that it's just like a lot of unknowns in that
Yeah.
backfield, it's like
Yeah.
great pick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I
is.
mean, I think
It
you're taking a shot anyways, but might as well take a shot on a receiver who's shown they
Yeah.
can do something with doo-doo at quarterback.
Yeah.
So,
Last time we saw Big Ben, it was a good offense. Granted, it was a different offense.
Yeah.
But got to give the benefit.
they're not going to be able to run the ball.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah,
man.
they're going to be just constantly handing off to Benny Snell, who's getting,
Yeah.
2.4 yards
Yeah.
per carry. They're like, all right, we got to throw it now. It's 3rd and 8.
The only
Constantly.
thing that scares me off of like the Jujus and the Deontay's, again, they're both players that I'd want on my team, is that their defense is so good that they could easily win games
Yeah.
17 to
Super
14,
low
17-10.
I just
They're
see
just
Ben
that
being
good.
like, I'm going to fling it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to
Yeah.
throw the ball.
How much
So,
time
we'll
does he
see.
have left, Big Ben?
2 seasons,
Man, is okay if
maybe.
you had to
3.
look like a quarterback in the NFL, is he like the last quarterback you would choose?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I'm not trying to throw stones because that's really mean.
No,
but seriously, when
no,
you look
he
at him,
looks-
aren't you kind of like,
He looks like he enjoys life. And I appreciate that about him.
he looks rough, dude?
No, that guy is not going to live to be 55.
Yeah,
That's
no,
for sure.
Not at all. Not at
That's
all.
for sure.
What division's next?
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm really curious. Before we move to the next division, I'm super curious because like you dropped a Kareem Hunt bomb in here,
Uh-huh.
right?
Okay.
And you have Nikolai Chubb,
I
right?
love the Chubb.
right? And there was, just so everyone knows, there's a little bit of banter
Yeah.
in the kind of the pre-show text
the text
messaging,
pre-show.
right?
Yeah.
So, what do you think about what do you really think about his Kareem Hunt?
I think it's a terrible take. It is the most awful take. Who's going to spend $7 on a handcuff? Because here's what I want to ask you. Okay, look, last season, do you know how many yards? Do you know how many
On a
yards
handcuff?
rushing that he had?
Doesn't matter.
Do you know how many yards rushing
Just tell me.
that Kareem Hunt had?
RB24.
179 yards in 8 games.
Wait,
178 yards. That's
Wait.
20 per game.
Are you 179 and
179.
That's not good.
That's not good. And you know what
That's
his
not good.
his receiving? It was all receiving. 285. Okay, so you're telling me
How do you
that this
get
game-
points? How do you get points?
Look,
Is it
he
receptions?
didn't have any points. That's the whole thing. Is that they were terrible at the end of
So,
last season.
no
Chubb
points.
wasn't great, but guess who was the number 2 running back in
No
terms of
points.
rushing yards last year?
Who?
Nick Chubb.
Oh.
Nick Chubb was. So
No
do you know what
points.
that means? They're not going to go, oh, hey, let's take Kareem Hunt, who is not as good as Nick Chubb, and let's give him the ball a ton. Do you know what his yards per average attempt is?
What?
5. Do you know what Kareem Hunt says?
What?
4. Low 4s. 4.2, 4.4 over the career. 4.0 over the career. So,
5
who's
is
a
higher
better
than
running
4.
back? Who are they going to give the ball to? And you got to look at the coaching staff. Stefanski likes having a running back that he keys in on, that he gives the ball a lot to. And so I'm not saying that Kareem Hunt's not going to get anything. You're just never, ever going to start him and feel good. And
It's-
Chubb is going to start every single game. Let's move on to the next one.
It's gonna be so fun.
Rebuttal?
It's gonna be so fun.
It's a lot of info.
When those
That was
rules
a lot of
are
info.
flipped and the points, because I mean, last 8 games when you actually got to play, RB 20. What was it? I gotta find it.
24?
RB 23, RB 24. That's
Their
how-
offense
wait,
was
whoa, whoa,
terrible
whoa,
at the end.
Okay, how much
Offense
was
was
Chubb?
terrible.
How much was Chubb? How much is Chubb right now?
$38, which is
38.
pretty good for
Hunt
the
is 7.
running back with the second
23.
highest rushing total
Would you
last
rather
year.
have running
and
back
only 8.
23 for $32 or running back 24 for 7? You tell me.
I don't want either.
No, he's gonna be.
No, I'm
he's
just
gonna
kidding.
be.
Hey, let me
I
ask you
don't
this
know
though.
what-
This is a
He's a
legit
top
question.
5 running back this year.
This is a
Watch,
legit,
Stefanski's gonna push
legit
him
question.
into it.
Because I don't know how
Their-
Kareem Hunt
their
got
line is better,
to
too?
the 20s. Yeah, so what about, does Conklin going to the Browns, do you think that boons Chubb? Do you think that boons both? Because Because
Anything-
dynamically, Chubb, like just watching, dynamically Chubb looks like the better
Yeah,
runner.
he's a big dude.
The better runner.
Yeah.
Right?
He
He's
is
so
the better
fast.
runner.
He's so
a
fast.
phenomenal runner.
So do you think though that Stefanski says, "Hey, we got Conklin, and we're going to give the ball solely to Chubb, and Chubb's going to be the man, and Kareem Hunt's going to come in on third down situations," or are you saying that you think it's going to be a 50-50?
I think it won't be 50-50.
Or closer to
It'll
50-50.
be-
60-40.
I could see it being more of an RBBC potential.
60-40?
Maybe
70-30? 75-25?
65. Yeah.
65-35.
Hey, do you guys know what
Okay.
your boy
Which-
Kareem Hunt was doing in January?
Then
Do you know what he was doing in January? Do you know
This
what he was
last
doing in
January?
January?
Are we talking about
When he
morality
got
now?
arrested.
Are we talking about morality?
I'm just saying you're
Now
gonna
we're
bet
basing,
on
we're
a
basing
guy
decisions
who
based
has
on morality?
Character
trouble
has
with
nothing
the
to do
law.
with football.
Thank you.
No, I'm just saying.
I was like, we're dropping all these players.
I guarantee you, 16
drop
games,
Zeke now. You gotta drop Zeke.
he'll get in trouble.
Yeah.
When was the last time he played a 16-game season? He's played one 16-game season.
Yeah.
He had 1,327 yards, that was good, but he was also playing for Andy Reid, who can
That's a
create
true story,
space
man.
for him, who got in the ball well.
There's a big difference between the Chiefs and the Browns. It'll be a fun
Yes.
thing to watch as the season
will.
goes forward.
It will, and I'll
I
be
am
right.
not a Doo-Doo Brown believer. I think Stefanski could be the greatest coach in the world and go to the Browns and do nothing. Belichick couldn't do anything in Cleveland.
Somehow the
It
Browns
is a
just suck the life out of
horrible,
everybody.
horrible,
That's why they
horrible
just need to
team.
run the ball like 8,000 times this year, and then both of us will have top 10 running backs. It'll be
Man,
fine.
I like the info though, man. That was a lot of info I've never heard before. But again, I haven't researched either of those guys.
179 yards, 8 games.
I didn't know that. I honestly thought that Hunt did more. I'm kind of glad you mentioned that because before that, I was like looking at Hunt and I was like, hey, well, I don't know if you're going to keep him or not. But if you did keep him, I'd be like interested in grabbing him for pretty cheap. But I didn't know he had like 20 yards per
Because it
game
was all
on the
receiving.
ground.
It was all receiving.
Yeah, that scares me
Average.
because what if they're a better team and they're more competitive and they have to throw less?
Yeah, it's
But
true.
It seems like it's a game script thing, but
Do
I don't
you
know.
expect them to
We'll
be a
see.
better team
No,
that throws less?
No, man,
With
I
Baker? No.
think it's the Browns.
They're gonna get stuck and have to dump it to.
I'm
Hey,
with you, Browns. I'm with you.
I think we can all agree on this that Chubb and Hunt are all vastly inferior to Ezekiel Elliott,
Oh,
Alvin
gosh.
Kamara,
All right,
Aaron
all right.
Jones.
We're going to the East now. The East. Ben, start us off. Who you got?
Okay. Oh man, I'm gonna get trashed for mine.
It's such a bad pick. It's such
when
a bad
when
pick.
I wrote this in, I was all like,
Ugh.
I'm gonna get beat up. I'm gonna
there,
get beat up
there
for
are
this.
so many other better players to choose from than this. But go ahead. No,
yeah.
no,
When
come on.
I threw mine
East is
down,
hard,
and then I put mine in first, and then you put yours in, and then Hanson text us his. I was like, oh man, mine's the worst, and it really is. But I put it because he's somebody that I will target in the drafts for $1, and that's Chris Herndon. Chris Herndon of the New York Jets is a talented tight end. I think the Jets are an awful, awful, awful offense, and I think Gase likes to do anything he can to limit explosive plays, and I think that plays right into Herndon's
All right.
hands.
Give me your projection. Tight end what?
I'd probably say he'd be like on season tight end 13, tight end 14.
That's not
That's a
good.
breakout?
That's not good. That's not even making
Dude,
your starting
okay,
lineup.
Hold on.
There's
I guess you
literally.
look out from
You
the
know we only can
basement.
start
No.
one tight end.
The
You
reason
do
why I
know
say that,
right?
the reason why I say that is because for me, in my brain, when I
Jason
think
Witt
of-
was tight end 14 last
Yeah,
year.
yeah. When I
So
think of-
cool. All
when I
right,
think
good.
of-
You're not
hold on,
starting.
hold on.
Tim-
You
Tim-
got nothing.
we
You
have
got
Tim-
nothing.
Tim-
When I
Tim-
think of
Terrible
tight end
pick.
14, when I think of
Tim
tight end
Gurley
14,
and 12
Yeah.
other better.
He's
tight
like,
ends.
oh yeah, if you're
Hold
tight end 14, I'll never start him, and he'll just sit there.
no,
and take a flop
I
on
would
the
play
bench.
him. I would play him, and here's the reason why. When I say tight end 14, I think you've got maybe like your top 3, top 2 tight ends. They're in a different tier, and then you've got maybe 1 or 2 other tight ends that are kind of floating there, and then I think you've got this huge section of tight ends. That's like tight end 6 to 7, all the way down to tight end 15, and I think those are basically
You
streamers.
have no clue.
I think they're all streamers. I think you cannot confidently plug any of them in week to week and expect double-digit points. I think they're all streamers.
Would you have ever started Jason Witten last season?
Yeah, if I had to.
All right, never mind.
But listen,
All right,
listen.
wait, you
I didn't
see his
have to.
breakouts, right?
No, listen. I didn't have to because I got Darren Waller for $1.
Yeah,
for
but what about this
$1.
season? Do you have Darren Waller
Dude,
this year?
hey, I can tell you this: whatever tight end I get, he's gonna be gold. He's gonna be gold.
You're feeling real
He's
confident
gonna
in
be
yourself on
Chris
tight
Herndon,
end.
number 13.
Yeah.
I would
All
grab.
right, Hanson, please save us from this.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
spent way too
So,
much time talking about Chris
Looks
Herndon.
like you and I are moving to New England for the next 2 picks.
Yep.
And so I put N'Keal Harry for wide receiver New England because just we have no clue what's going on
Nope.
with that receiving corps. You got Edelman, who you know is going to be consistent, but other than that, you're like, okay, is this going to be his year?
Yeah.
He's been hurt, and so the fact that it's so much of an unknown and they're restacking the deck in New England, I think that
Yeah.
a sophomore like this coming out might be if he can be on and make that rapport with whichever quarterback. I mean, let's be real, it's going to be Cam. But if he can get that rapport with Cam, it could be something special.
I mean, he's first-round talent. He's coming in his second year.
Yeah.
You don't know. This is the type of thing you take a roll of the dice on.
Yeah.
Is he $1?
He's super cheap. I got him right here. Hold on. Nicholas, $2.
Okay, that's good.
So, where do you think he would finish?
Well,
What do you think? Realistically, where do you think he'd finish? Because my finish for Herndon is actually based in some sort of reality. So where do you think?
Some sort of reality?
Yeah. Where do you think he'd finish?
Man, I need to bring
Top 20? Wide receiver 20? Wide receiver 22? Wide receiver 30?
top 30.
Wide receiver 30?
If he breaks out, it's going to be top 30.
Yeah, but you got to think about it. That second flex spot, we're going to be starting some bottom tier, like 28, 29
I'm
wide receiver. Oh, you're going to have all. Okay.
I've
I
got
can't wait to see
A.J.
you.
Brown, Calvin Ridley, and Adam Thielen.
Yeah.
He's not top 20. I mean, I'd say between 25 and 30.
A lot of it depends on how good their offense is,
Yeah.
right? And you just don't know. Well, I'm in the same boat here. I don't have N'Keal Harry, but I do have Damian Harris, and part of this is I think they're going to run the ball a lot this year, meaning I think even just with Cam's style, it fits in to run the ball and do some option, do some different things like that. I think they're going to do that quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't trust Sony Michel to play more than 6 to 8 games at all, and that would be the high number for me. I think he's going to be really inconsistent. I think Bill's going to look for somebody who's consistent. Damian Harris, you got second round, third round talent. He's third round pick. Third round talent. I'm taking a shot at this point. Ultimately, one of those running backs is going to hit. I'll take my shot with Damian Harris because I just don't know.
And I've seen other people putting out there Sony Michel as the breakout character. So it's like
You just don't know.
you just have no clue.
You
what's
have
going
no
on.
clue.
Which
don't know.
that's the thing. Once again, all the ambiguous things that you have no clue what's going on. One of them has the potential to break out. So
Well, I just don't think Sony Michel is very good.
it's got it. Yeah.
Like I mean, even healthy running the ball, I don't think he's explosive. You don't know what you have here. He's got to learn how to pass protect. He did that last season. Hopefully, that's why they spin it. So we'll see.
He definitely has some health issues. Sony does.
Yeah.
So
All right, I think that was the most we've argued yet. So Hanson,
I love-
you brought that
love bringing it
in.
in.
So thank you for doing that,
Love it.
Here, take your dum and leave.
dum. Appreciate you being on. See you never.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks
It
for
was
moving
it was
away.
fun having you on.
See you in
Thanks for your takes.
a future episode.
Hey, and wait, before you leave, real
Oh,
fast.
stand back there.
Let's see if we can get in a little interaction with who's watching, Bork and Jordan.
Yeah,
Let's
Bork and
be
Jordan. Yeah.
Realistically, right? So, you two, Bork and Jordan, come up with a good bet about Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb between these two guys with some type of cost. But here's the thing: you got to make it realistic. You can't make it which running back is going to finish ahead of the other
Oh, I
because
think
that's
good.
that's going to
I like
favor
that one.
that's going to
Even
favor
I'm not
Chubb.
saying
That's not what he's saying. But come up with either one of you. Put it in the comments section, and let's see if we can get another bet going on because that'd be 2 bets back to back, right?
Yeah.
And we'll see if we can keep this thing rolling.
Ben's gonna have a shaving bet coming up.
I got.
So
Hey, dude, you've seen me with the handlebars before.
You can go straight up handlebar.
Maybe. I mean, I don't think I'm going to lose because the bet is basically he thinks that whatever some running back that he's going to draft is going to finish ahead of Zeke. He said, "Hey man, whatever running back I draft is going to finish ahead of Zeke."
Is that- is that-
And I was
no,
like,
it's
I don't know about that one, man.
I said I could outrun is what I said.
Oh yeah.
That was the hottest take I made.
See you
I
later,
could
Hanson.
outrun
Thanks,
Zeke.
brother. Man, it was great having you on the show. Thanks so much. Who's going to be our next guest?
Our next guest, I don't know. It's up in the air.
Maybe
We'll see.
it's got to be Jordan. He's the only other person that watches
No,
the
we
show.
can get Ryan on here.
Ryan doesn't even watch.
Yeah, but we can get him on here.
You all need to randomly show up at his house and shoot an
Oh,
episode.
we'll shoot an episode in his pool.
That is a very good idea.
Sure.
Tell him to show
All
up
right.
at his
That
house
is a
and
very
get
good
in
idea.
the hot tub and shoot in the hot tub.
Oh.
Hey, Ryan, if you watch this show ever, will you just comment? If anybody outside of Jordan, David, and Bork are watching,
Hey, Ryan
this
told
show,
me last
please
night he
put a
watched
comment
like
in
half
there.
of our last one.
That's
He
pretty
said he
good.
did. I took it.
I
So
mean, that's pretty good.
we're just doing this for you guys. So you
Jordan,
can know about our
Bork,
team.
and Hanson. Oh, we'd love for everybody to watch. All right, what are we going on? What's
All right, now we've got we're moving to our owner breakdown, and today
My
we're
brother.
breaking down Team Barry.
Oh,
Bitter Berry.
Bitter Berry, Berrylicious,
Barrylicious.
Barry-
Barry's balls ointment.
Barry's balls ointment. Barry likes to drink dairy.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
good
That
stuff.
wasn't
I don't
a
know.
good one. Let me give
All
an
right, you got
owner
the bio.
for him. Yeah. Let me give the owner bio for him, and this is it. Barry, he is the man. He enjoys competing for the title of worst owner against the likes of himself. His teams are rarely good. Rarely good. We looked at it, right?
Yeah, rarely.
I think it was like 2 years ago he had a playoff team.
Hold on, I'm going to talk about that.
Okay.
I'm talking about
So I don't want to get into that. And he very, very. This is not only is he a bad fantasy owner, but he very rarely participates in community
anything. Yeah,
as well.
He just disappears for long periods of time.
It's the worst.
So he'll never see this, so we can make fun of him as much
as we want. On the plus side,
the funny thing is, like, it's not like he's married or has kids. Like, you have lots of time.
you're a single guy.
Yeah,
You're a
what are you
single
doing?
guy. You were a single guy
Playing
in
games.
college.
Yeah,
You were a single guy in college.
you got time.
On a plus side, he enjoys scuba, which sounds pretty
The
cool.
scuba. You off for scuba?
You want a scuba? He enjoys scuba, and he's going to be getting married later on this year. It's a great thing.
August 1st.
Yep.
That's not that much later.
That's just
Yeah,
around the
like
corner.
it's right around the corner.
And he is going to be leaving our league in
annoying.
2021.
It's really sad.
Man, and so
Submit your people that you want to fill his role for next
yeah,
year.
man.
'cause
I mean,
we know coming.
he's gone. He's gone. If
I'm
he
just
was,
glad I got Saquon before he left.
oh, dude, that was a good get. If he was holding on by a thread as a single college student, not in a PhD or anything like that, but just a regular college student. What is his hope now that he's getting married?
Hey, okay, real quick. What in 20 years you can forecast Barry's life? What's he going to be doing?
Barry in 20 years.
Here's
what
my
is
Barry question for you.
Dude, that's a really hard one. I honestly think Barry will be successful at whatever he plots out for himself. Whatever career he decides to go down, I believe that Barry's going to be very successful. I believe that Barry's going to be a very good husband, and he's going to be a very good dad. I think Barry's going to be one of those just legit
All right,
guys.
I got the answer then.
Yeah,
'cause
okay,
you're not
let's hear
really
it.
answering
That's
All
it,
right,
man,
20
that's it.
years from now, he has 5 kids.
5?
5 kids.
That's Trump's Hanson.
5. And he's a stay-at-home dad.
Goodness.
He is. He 100% is. So,
I think he would enjoy that.
and I think he's got a side business called Barry's Balls Ointment.
Oh, he's already got that.
taking
I will
off.
say this. He will be bald, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What,
Sure.
dude? What if in 20 years, not only is he bald, but I mean he's just jacked. Like I'm talking like.
Well, I was actually going to ask
The
you,
Rock.
do you think he'll ever get above 160 pounds?
No man. I could see him though as a stay-at-home dad getting like a little Buddha belly.
Oh, my God. Oh, man.
Right?
All right, we got to keep going here. All right, where did he finish last year?
Where did he finish last year? He finished 5-9. That's not good. By the way, just so everyone knows, 5-9. Some interesting facts about him. Not only was he 5-9, but he had the second lowest scoring team in the league.
Jordan, right?
To Jordan.
Which is interesting because they're both 5-9.
Yeah.
And so we
better
had
records than me and Hanson.
which is surprising. You had 10 wins there from the lowest team. So I mean, it's just kind of crazy that they ended up
Yeah.
winning,
Yeah.
5 games apiece. They
Yeah.
probably should have been lower than
Yeah,
that.
and this is a reminder that we are going like this. And then part of what we're talking about is last year's team, how bad they were, but we're also projecting forward. So some of the teams we'll get to later on, they had good seasons last year, but I promise they're doo-doo teams
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah, you got 2 in mind.
Yeah, more than likely. So he was second lowest scoring. He had 5 games below 100. That's not as bad as Jordan's below 115, but
Yep.
5 almost half your regular season games below 120. That's not good for our league. And then he had 2 below 100. That is never anything you want to see. So
Nope.
5-9.
Okay,
Bad. It was bad. Hey, what do you think went right for him?
nothing. Absolutely nothing. And here's what I mean by that. The year before, if you remember, he was 10-4 the year
Yeah.
before. He ended up in 4th place, but going into the playoffs, it was like nobody wanted to play Barry. Nobody did. That was the year the Hanson won. Nobody wanted to play him because he had Saquon, he had Todd Gurley.
They were
and
going crazy.
Were killing it.
They were
Like
going
they were
crazy.
just going nuts. And so everybody's like, man, I don't want to play him. He's going to end up winning. He had a Cooper as well. Like he had a really, really
Man.
stacked team.
Yeah.
And so he looked like the favorite to win it all, and then he doesn't, and then he ends up. So after playoffs, so we ranked him, based on in the season. But after the playoffs, he was actually 10th place because he lost even the consolation bracket.
Yep.
So
We
he
did
was
regular
technically
season,
like
just so you guys know.
10th place at the end of all of this. So he went from possibly winning it all, favorite to win it all, to last place essentially.
Yeah, and what's interesting is just so you guys know, the reason why we decided to do this show is because this is actually what we always do every year. Is we would just get together
And just
we'd
talk about it.
teams and
Yep.
everything like that, and we'd actually put up everybody's teams up there and forecast. And we looked at Barry's team and Bork's team, and we thought both of them going into last
my
year, going into
goodness.
last year,
Yeah.
we're going to be good, and they just weren't. I mean, obviously Gurley's injury,
Yep.
Barkley's injury. I mean, that just killed
Yeah.
killed
He
Barry.
needed Barkley to be great.
Oh,
Cooper
man.
did his disappearing act again.
Yeah.
The Edelman, I mean, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah,
sorry. Okay.
I think one of the things
Yeah,
he did
well,
that was really
what did
good
he
was he got 5 wins. I mean, if you're the second
Yeah,
lowest team,
and you got 5
and you got
wins.
5 wins.
That's a-
Hey,
that's a
good on you. Good on you. And he did. This is great. You reminded me of this. He secured DK for $1. Man, that's not bad. Securing DK for $1.
Man,
That's not bad at all.
That's a great draft. He's a good receiver. All right, so what went wrong?
What went wrong? Man, You go first.
Okay, I'll
you
go
go first because
All right, so-
what you found was great.
Oh man, so get this. So he only kept 5 people. 5.
Oh,
And so I went back and I looked and I thought, okay, well, what happened? Did he not? Did just a bunch of bad people? He dropped Allen Robinson. And Allen Robinson was I think $17. Not very much money that
Super
year.
cheap.
He wasn't going to be very expensive. He dropped him. And so instead of just holding on to him, he dropped him. And now, I mean, he doesn't have A-Rod, moves on. Only keeping 5 people, and that's really hard when you're only keeping 5 people.
Dude, that's rough, man. So just to paint that picture, he doesn't. Not only does he not keep the full allotment of 6, which is a bad strategy, by the way. I don't care if you keep a DST or a kicker.
Well-
Keep 6, take advantage, right? But the person he chooses not to keep is Allen Robinson.
And then he went back in the draft with more money, but who did he overpay for? Because this is part of
Oh,
yours.
yeah.
I'm jumping into it a
So
little bit.
yeah. So
Who did he overpay for?
man, so he that's what I was going to say. This is what went wrong for him. He invested throughout the season. He invested very heavily into some running backs that just did nothing. He invested heavily into Latavius Murray, and I get people who are like, man, he gave him 2-3 good games. That's $8.
$8 for a
$8.
handcuff who didn't play. Just like Kareem Hunt.
Just like Kareem Hunt's going to be. Henderson out of the
Yeah.
Rams, right? He put $5 on him. He bought into that cheese, that hype, right?
Yep.
And then he traded for, early in the season, he traded for Malcolm Brown. I think I traded him off to him week 2, and he gave Gallup up. He gave me Gallup for Malcolm Brown. So think about that. He loses Gallup's production, which was great. By the way, he was a top 25 WR for Malcolm Brown. So he invests very heavily, $13 total plus Gallup into 3 RBs that did nothing, and Henderson. We'll talk about him a little bit later. And then he overpays for Montgomery. And I know
nothing.
who did nothing.
$46 for Montgomery. Just so you know. So that's so if you take that, you get the 46 plus the 13. You got $59 that he spent when you could have kept Allen Robinson for $17 or whatever it was,
yep.
and then had somebody who was productive last year.
Yeah, and I think the question mark that we have over Montgomery again. You could look at last episode. Some people might be like, "Wait a minute! You said you got to pay up big to get a rookie in a keeper league." Here's the thing: Miles Sanders was $41, and I think we liked Miles more than we liked Montgomery.
Yeah, he was cheaper.
Last year. He's
Miles
going
Sanders
to a
was
better offense, more explosive talent. The NFL's about explosive talent now. By the way, you got super freaks like Derrick Henry, but he's got such amazing straight line speed. And so when you're paying $46 and you could have got somebody like Miles Sanders on a better offense. Cheaper, you definitely overpaid.
Yep.
And dude, who knows what is going to happen with Montgomery this year? I know he's a favorite of some people, saying he could do this, but I'm like, dude,
Maybe he's good. Maybe he's not.
I don't think so because that is not a good offense.
Yeah.
That is not a good offense.
All right, top player. We both have the same one.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to go with this. Edelman. He paid $4 for
Dude.
Edelman, and he was wide receiver 7.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing to get Edelman $4. I don't know if he used a tag. I didn't look that up or anything like that. No. He used his franchise tag on Gurley. So he didn't use him on
tag him or anything.
Yeah,
He just
I mean,
was $4.
even
It's a good
if
deal.
he got Edelman $4 the year before, that's amazing. I mean,
Yeah,
people just
$4
sleep on Edelman.
Yeah, $4 for him is great. Wide receiver 7, so that's bang for your buck right there. That's how you win 5 games.
Yeah, man, that's a top player right there. And real fast, what do you think about Edelman? What do you think about Edelman going into this year? So it's a different system, a different quarterback. It seems like the last 3 years everybody sleeps on Edelman, right? And then what does he do? WR7.
I think he's wide receiver 18 to 22.
Okay,
I
so
think he drops.
worth your buck then if you get him cheap.
He could be worth $4.
Yeah, okay.
He could be worth $4 if he was drafted at that, but he's also going to keep DK Metcalf. So, I mean, I'd keep him, but I don't expect much out of him.
Nah, man, not at all.
This is part of what's the problem with Barry's team. All right, so
bus
we
player.
got a bus player. Go ahead.
Man, I got to go back to Henderson, and I know he there's other players he paid more for, but this is the reason why I say Henderson was such a bust because one, every dollar counts, and if you pay $5 for the RB97, that is not a good exchange of currency.
No.
And not just that, but if you pay $5 for a player that's RB97 and then you end up dropping him, that is $5 that you just basically lit and burned.
He just wanted to hoard all the Rams running backs. The problem was the Rams were not very good at running last year.
No, and that's the Todd Gurley vacuum, right? Is he got vacuumed into a bad system. But let's keep going.
All right, so mine pains me to say, but mine was Saquon.
Oh, dude.
Just meaning he spent $56 on Saquon, and he was RB9. And not that RB9, there's anything wrong with RB9, but when you pay $56, you give Saquon, You need him to be top 3 RB,
Yeah.
carry your team.
Yeah.
He just didn't carry his team. I've got that, and also I've got
Painful.
David Montgomery spending $46, which we've talked about quite a bit, but he was RB 24, and you spent $46 on him.
Yeah.
When you spend that much money, that's real money. You're expecting something out of him more than that. So, 2020 season. Okay, you want to go through who?
Yeah.
believe will keep?
We I think we
We're
landed
exactly
on
the
the same
same.
keeps.
So
Why don't
just
you
go and
walk
walk through it. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Go for it.
So Hop, $45. Cooper, $30 right now. Bell, $20, which I think boom or bust, but I mean $20 for Bell is a good deal.
It's a really
I
good
think.
deal.
Gurley, $12, another good deal there. He's franchise tagging on that one, so I think Gurley at $12. DK $1 because he's getting a transition tagging because he drafted him at $1, and then David Montgomery only $8 this year.
It's a
So
good buy. That's
for
a good
$8, that's a good buy.
That's a good
$46 not a good buy. $8 a good buy. So
$8.
he's going to have $84 going into the draft, which is good. That's the most we've seen so far.
He needs it. He needs it because he's got some problems. So let's do a deep dive real fast over Amari Cooper, and let me ask you some
Okay,
questions.
I
real
like
fast. What do you think the highest amount of touchdowns Amari Cooper has ever gotten in a season? What's the most touchdowns he's scored in a season?
10.
8. So you were
Okay,
close, man.
okay.
8.
I was thought 8, but then I went, oh man, surely.
And here's what is really interesting about that. 8 is a good amount of touchdowns, and it was last year.
Really?
Yeah,
Last
it was
year?
last year. It wasn't his early days with Oakland. It was
Okay.
last year. Just shows you how prolific the Cowboys
But
were last
he's
year.
going to have some competition this year. Sorry, keep going.
Dude, he definitely is. In his 5 seasons that he has played, how many times has he failed to break 1,000 yards?
Never. He's done it every year.
Once. And that
Okay.
was 2017. It was a really bad year for him. He suffered injuries and some.
Oh, that was that year where they were like, he's done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
He
remember
was.
that.
It was a bad year. How many of his? Would you agree that 55% is a really bad catch rate?
Yeah.
55% is a really, really bad catch rate.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Is that hopefully that's not his catch rate?
no.
Okay.
But how many times in his 5 seasons has Amari Cooper had a 55% catch rate or worse?
0, hopefully.
2.
Oh.
2015 and then again in 2017.
Okay, but he had bad quarterbacks then.
I mean, but a bad catch rate, that's catchable balls that
just
they're forecasting
throwing
to you.
nothing. I don't know. I'm trying to
Man.
think of something. I like
Yeah,
Cooper.
I mean, I do remember some seasons in Oakland where it looked like he had focus issues. He was dropping a lot of balls. It wasn't very good. All right, this is here's another one. How many times has he failed to catch 70 balls? How many times has he failed to catch 70 balls? How many seasons?
Twice.
Just once, 2017.
Oh.
So what you have is a WR that catches at least 70 balls typically,
Okay.
breaks 1,000 yards, and is on a prolific offense. It's
Let me-
pretty good.
Okay, are you done?
I am.
Let me ask you this. Would you want Amari Cooper on your fantasy team?
Do I have to pay $30 for him?
Yeah, you can have him. You don't have to
No.
trade any. He's just yours if you want him. Would you
Yeah.
want him for that?
Yeah. No.
He's hard.
I like Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
And I haven't really got into looking at his game splits, but the narrative seems to be that he disappears on the road.
Yeah.
And I try to stay away from any game split player. Especially at $30. At $30, what I want is a player that I can almost set and forget.
Yeah.
At least in the WR2 spot.
Yeah,
right?
I agree. I think with him, I like to watch him play football,
Yeah.
and I like him on my football team,
Yeah.
right, most of the time. I don't like him on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, I don't know. It's kind of like the boomer bust that we talked about with Jordan last time. It's hard.
Let me ask you this: Would you
Okay.
take Amari Cooper and Todd Gurley? Would you take both those players
Yes.
for Nick Chubb?
Oh.
Amari Cooper and Todd Gurley at their price, 30 and
No, I'm probably
No.
getting roasted right now, but I love Chubb.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
I think this
you guys
is
put that in the comments.
this
Would
is
you do
the
that trade?
year.
Yeah.
This is the year where he really takes off and becomes elite. I mean, he had 1,450 something
Mhm.
yards rushing last
Mhm.
year, so I think he'll
Mhm.
score more touchdowns this year.
Okay,
He's had a good season, so.
let's do this. Let's
keep talking
let's,
about
let's
Chubb.
put you on the Barry side of things. You're Barry,
Okay.
okay? You've got these keepers, right?
Yeah.
And I am Hanson, right?
Okay.
And I'm Hanson, and I reach out to you, and I'm trying to combo up David Johnson. No, actually, I just offer you straight David Johnson for Todd Gurley. Would you take that? David Johnson for Todd Gurley.
I think I want Todd Gurley.
Yeah, I want Todd Gurley
I
too.
think I want Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
In that situation, I don't know if I answered that right, but I want Todd Gurley.
What about this? What
I think he
again,
can still produce at an elite level, and he's $12 for Barry.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good deal.
All right, you're Hanson now.
Okay.
You're Hanson, right? And I'm Barry, and I come to you and I offer you Amari Cooper and Le'Veon Bell for Michael Thomas?
Amari Cooper and Le'Veon Bell. No.
No, I wouldn't.
No.
do it.
Michael Thomas is. Hey, yeah. You can't get rid of that dude.
I know.
Unless it's just overwhelming. And that's not
Mhm.
overwhelming. That's
Mhm.
there's still a question in my mind. So I go, gotta have Thomas. He's
Yeah.
elite.
I think Amari Cooper's interesting because I think he has those week-winning weeks,
Yeah.
right? But he's
Yeah.
just not consistent.
He's just not consistent.
No.
I don't want him on my team. So anything with Cooper in it's gonna be really hard for me to swallow.
Oh,
Unless I
man.
feel like I'm winning.
I am right there with you.
All right. So what do they need to do to compete in your mind?
Man, okay, this is honest. I know the question's about competing this year, and obviously the solution is for me is to try to trade up. But I really, if I was him, if I was Barry, if I was in his situation, you're going to do everything you can to compete this year. But I would almost approach this season with the mindset of I'm going to really go for the championship next season. I want to do what I can this year, but I really want to build for next year. So
Yeah.
I would do what I had to do to make the trades that I had to grab what I considered in my brain prospects that were going to pop and become elite, have that elite stratosphere.
He's got, so for me, I'm going to answer it
Yep.
real quick. He's got Gurley as elite talent. Bell is elite talent. Hopkins, elite talent.
Mhm.
All those new well, except for Bell. Those are, some different situations here. If those three guys hit, his team could win. He could make the playoffs. I mean, it's not
could.
out of the realm of
He
possibility,
could.
but there's just so many question marks surrounding his team that it's really hard. Cooper, Edelman's still there. Like, he's got some good pieces.
Yeah.
He's got some elite pieces, possibly, but no telling what Gurley and what Bell are going to do. Hopkins, I think, is going to have a great season. I think they're going to throw him the ball a ton.
Hop is hot, right?
He's going to be top 3 this
Yeah.
year, I think.
Yeah, Hop
There's some
and
doubt
Cooper
about
are
him
good.
in Arizona, but I think Arizona doesn't have a wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
Hasn't for a
Yeah.
bit. He's going to take over and do that. So
I think with Bell and Gurley, the thing is you've got two guys whose ceilings you would like to say, hey, in the past those guys have been like the MVPs of fantasy,
Mhm.
right? Here's the problem with it: that offense is not gonna run through them. So in Atlanta, it's not gonna run through Gurley, and in New York, because of Gase, it's not gonna run through Bell. Unfortunately,
I
they
agree.
are very talented players. Their opportunity is just limited.
all right, where's he finish?
Man, I've got him 9th place. I've got Barry coming in 9th place.
Yep.
So I got him finishing below Hansen. I don't have him in that 10th place. That's still to come. But I have him 4 and 10. I just think he
It
has
seems like we're
consistency
heading
issues.
towards the same 10th place person.
I think we
which
are.
is
I
very
really
interesting.
think we are.
It's a really easy decision.
It is. It really is. It really
I've
is.
got him in 8th place, 5 and 9 this
Mm-hmm.
year, but I could see things breaking right and him ending up in 5th spot. So
Yeah.
I don't think he's a playoff team
No.
by any stretch of the imagination, but and we got some really good teams. We haven't gotten to them yet, so it sounds like not. But
We
there's
do.
some good teams.
And we both liked Jordan on the upswing,
Yeah.
right? And so we are getting to some of the better echelon teams. But hey, here's the beautiful thing. It's fantasy football. Who knows what happens in the draft?
Yep.
Who knows what happens with these seasons? We could be dead wrong about this, right?
Great. All right, we're gonna move on to burning
How
questions.
much time do you have real fast?
I'm gonna hit
I know
the
you got to
sponsors. I've got to meet with Barry. Actually, I got 6 minutes here.
go. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to go through. He's going to hit the sponsor. We're going to go.
All right. Our sponsor for the burning questions is 1-800-4Jordan. And theirs is if you are desperate and hot, give us a call.
If you're desperate, that's the magic recipe for Jordan.
Tell us a
man,
little
right
bit
there.
about 1-800-4Jordan.
Man, what's great about 100 for Jordan is they're open to all pronouns. Jordan does not. He is not. He is not. What is that word called? When you're too picky, selective.
No,
he's not
definitely not
selective or
selective.
anything
Definitely
like that.
not selective.
He views himself as desperate and hot,
Yeah.
and that's what he's looking for. So he's open to all pronouns. You can ask about a Zoom upgrade if you don't want to just do phone call
No.
with him. You can actually
You can
ask
see
about
him.
Zoom. You can
a lot
see
of him. He'll
all
show
of
you a
him.
lot of himself.
Show you a little bit too much. And this is what I love, man. How many times have you called?
Too many to count.
Do you even
Doing-
get charged anymore?
No, actually,
Oh,
I'm a
man.
privileged client now, premium level client, and he doesn't even charge me. He just enjoys talking to me so much. I mean, I'm just saying, he's a good guy to talk to and see. And, if you need to get things off your chest or just have some late night phone calls.
Best
it's a great place to
season
go.
for me. One of the best seasons for me was last year when you two had your little breakup. I didn't have to worry about this. Somehow you guys have gotten back together.
We're back together.
It's gonna
On
be
again,
a
off
long
again relationship.
Year. It's gonna be a long year, people.
I'm sure we'll
It's
break
gonna
up
be
at
a
some point
long
this
year.
season.
Hey, Jordan, 1-800-4Jordan. Thank you so much for sponsoring us, man. Thank you for giving this guy frequent flyer mileage
Yeah.
there and sporting him for free.
All right, we're going to go through these quick. We're not
Let's
going
do
to
it.
give you a lot of stats. We do have the stats to back it up. But, all right, of the listed running backs, pick the 5 that you think are going to break 1,100 yards rushing, assuming 16-game schedule.
Okay.
So here they are. Alvin Kamara,
Mhm.
Josh Jacobs,
Mhm.
Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, CMC, Dalvin Cook, Leonard Fournette, Kenyon Drake, Todd Gurley, David Montgomery, And that's it.
That's a great list. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Jordan, our sponsor, actually sent this in.
That was a good
Man,
question.
this is actually good. So this is what I've got. I've got CMC. I've got Josh Jacobs. I've got Saquon. I've got Derrick Henry. And then I've got Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley. Look at that.
I really believe
That's-
that Gurley's going to make a bounce back this year.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be top 5, but I think he's coming back.
So, I mean, 4 out of those 5 had 1,100-yard rushing seasons last
Mhm.
year. So Todd
Mhm.
Gurley's the odd man out.
He is.
Kind of the
It's not a
difference
huge
they bring.
stretch, right?
All right, so I've got Saquon.
Yep.
I've got Henry, and I've
Uh-huh.
got CMC. I think those are just
The givens.
unassailable unless something crazy happens. Those are the 3 that everybody's going to pick. I've also got Cook.
Okay.
Over
Cookie.
1,100 last year. I think he's going to play this year. I think
Cookie. He's
I don't
good,
want
man.
him to. Believe me, give Madison the ball, but I don't think he's going to. And then obviously I have Nick Chubb.
Okay. Yeah.
Nick Chubb wasn't a choice.
I know.
I have Leonard Fournette. I have Leonard Fournette in there as well. I think they're going to run him in the ground. You know DeMarco Murray with the Cowboys a few years ago?
Yeah, I
They're
agree
going to run
with
him in
you,
the
man.
ground. So-
It was between Gurley and Fournette. Ultimately, I went with Gurley, just because I like that offense a little bit better.
All right, question 2. Go ahead.
Let me flip it for you. It's the same thing. It's quarterbacks though. So this of the listed quarterbacks, pick the 5 you think are most likely to break 30 combined touchdowns in 2020. Again, assuming full season. Here's our quarterbacks: Lamar Jackson, Danny Dimes, Dak.
Jordan sent that one in too because you can tell
It
you
is
do
so
Danny-
good, right?
Daniel Jones.
This is a good one. Dak Prescott, Derek Carr, Deshaun Watson, Cam Newton, Jared Goff, Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, Big Ben Roethlisberger. Where are you going?
All right, I think unassailable 3 are Dak, Lamar Jackson, and Watson. I think
Okay.
they've got the rushing ability and they've got the passing ability. They're high-flying offenses. Those are the 3 that I think you're probably going to have as well. It's pretty easy. I also have Roethlisberger and Rodgers. I
Okay.
think
Rodgers
both.
bounce
Of,
back?
yeah, I
Bounce
think
back
both.
Rodgers.
He had 26 touchdowns last year, so
Yeah.
it's not that far
I
off.
mean, it's Rodgers.
I just think they're
Dude's
both coming in to prove something this year. They're both talented quarterbacks. I think they're going to throw a lot. One name that wasn't listed here that I think is interesting is Wentz.
Yeah,
Carson Wentz had 28 touchdowns last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, and he didn't play full season.
Yeah, so I mean, 28 touchdowns is a lot of touchdowns.
Side question: do you think Carson Wentz will ever have a full season again?
Yeah.
Okay. He just got to run less.
I don't know. I'm always optimistic on injury.
Yeah. He's great.
I picked Brandon
He's
Cooks
great.
earlier, so
Yeah.
I'm very optimistic.
That's not a bad breakout though, man. Brandon Cooks, good player.
All right, who's your 5?
I got Dak, L.J. Watson. Where I differ is Danny Dimes.
Danny Times.
Dude, he
Oh
was
my
only like
gosh.
1 or 2 touchdowns away last year, man. That's
No.
crazy.
How many touchdowns did he have
I
last
think,
year?
I think he had 26
He
or
did not have
27.
26.
I promise, man. Combined.
Okay, I'm gonna look this up afterwards.
Yeah, do.
Check this
Dude,
out.
and then we'll revisit it the next show. And then my stretch is Matt Ryan.
Oh.
He's rarely done it, but I think he can do it this year. I think
Okay.
he will do it this year.
Okay,
Yeah.
he's got the receiving core to do it. All right, question 3. Would you rather, and this is from Bork, I'm assuming,
I just saw your answer. That's so good. Okay.
start the season with my current running backs or have to use a dirty porta potty every time you poop all season?
Why don't you go ahead and start us off?
No, here's the thing. I think about my fantasy football team a lot,
Oh,
probably
man.
too much.
Yeah.
And so if I had to think about having Bork's running backs on a daily basis, it would just ruin my life. I poop once a day, like 10 minutes tops. I could probably get it out faster. So a porta potty, I'm going to spend 5 minutes a day in that porta potty. I'm not going to look forward to it. It's going to get gross. It's going to be awful.
Gross.
But I don't have to spend every day thinking about like who my starting running backs are. If I'm Matt Burkowski, I would just quit if I were you, Matt.
Oh man. Hey man, his RBs are horrible. I don't know whose are worse, his or Hanson's.
His
Or
in my
possibly,
mind.
yeah. Okay.
His in my mind.
We gotta wrap up though. Mine was I'm gonna go with the dirty porta potty. I want to use dirty porta potty because the bathroom is a place where I like to take my time and I like to look at fantasy football while I'm in that bathroom.
Well, you're not doing that in the porta potty. All right, let me give you question 4. Just
Yep.
let you answer this one
Okay.
because you had a good answer to it. Beyond the loser T-shirt that we currently have, what other last place punishments should we consider for the league?
Man, I think this is easy money, and I think we should bring this in. I think that the loser should have to buy all the pizza at the next trophy ceremony. I think we do like 2 or 3 pizzas or something like that.
Yeah,
That should have to go to the loser. I mean, that's not going to break you or anything.
I'm excited
like
for Bork to buy his
that.
pizza.
We're all so happy that you're going to buy us some pizza. That wraps up our
Yep.
show. It was a great show. We had Hanson on. Who do we have next? What team are we looking at next? Do you remember? It's somewhere on our show notes. I completely forgot. It's Bork.
Next is Bork. Yes! Yes!
It's-
I'm so excited. All right, it's Bork. Regardless, we're gonna finagle the numbers.
It is. It's definitely Bork.
It's Bork.
definitely
Oh
Bork.
my goodness,
Oh.
this is so exciting. All right,
You
tune
guys are
in.
going to want to tune in for that one.
Yep, we'll see you soon.
Peace.